You are looking at some of the stuff you might end up with in the kitchen following the Thanksgiving feast. I'm joined by the Supreme Commander of all things science, Rick Crosslin. And so mom's finished, dad's finished cooking in the kitchen, and then the kids and I sneak in.
Sure.
And then we start playing with stuff, right?
And so at our house, you know, the kids, they're part of the preparation for Thanksgiving. So I thought, we have kitchen chemistry, but what things are going to be available at your Thanksgiving feast? And so I know there's going to be baking soda and vinegar.
So we can blow some stuff up.
We can make a gas. We have some yeast, which plays an important role in cooking. And we also have some yams for some biology and some cornstarch for something really weird. And then, of course, after you've filled your stomach,
You might want a little Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer. So let's jump right in. So one of the things about a chemical reaction, here is a solid, a powder. And George, if you want to grab that pipette right here. So this is a solid. Now if I tear this, that's called a physical change. So it's still paper. I haven't done anything to it, just changed its form.
Right.
So get some water out of that Indy style cup, and let's see if we can put someone here and make a gas. And you see any gas forming? I don't.
No.
So that would just be a mixture or a solution. But if we change the ingredient, try this pipette right here, because this is another clear liquid, but the proper way to smell things in science is don't do that. You can hurt your nose, waft it like that. And what do your senses tell you?
Has sort of a vinegar flavor to it.
So let's see, put some vinegar. Let's see if we can make a gas, which is a chemical change, a color change or a gas. And I see a gas forming. So let's try this trick right here. Here you have a big bag of baking soda right here, and I have one too. Now be careful, because this is a timed, it's very quick. You're gonna have to take this, pour it in, and close it.
This sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
You have a nice suit on, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Are you ready? There we go.
You're ahead of me.
Okay, and pour it in and close it quick. Close it quick like this, and let's see what happens. Get it closed, zip, here we go. And you start to get, this is kind of fun with the kids, because look what we're doing here. We're making a nice pillow of gas, because look how it's inflating, and eventually
it blows up.
It does pop, which is kind of fun. So we'll let that one pop off to the side for a second. So that's with some baking soda. Now, yeast has been around for a long time. Yeast, we use that for alcohol and for bread. In fact, when you mix yeast is a very interesting creature. It's not a plant or an animal, but see all these holes right here? Those are holes made from the carbon dioxide when yeast reproduces. And so what I did right here is a little experiment you can do. You notice both of these have some yeast in them and some warm water. But what do you notice about this one?
We've got some bubbles on top.
A lot more carbon dioxide, because I added sugar to this one. Since yeast reproduces and makes more gas as it goes through its life cycle, that it needs food, like all living creatures. So this is yeast. So you can try that different experience and feel how that's warm. And so that's a cool thing to do with kids. And also, next time you eat a piece of bread, all those holes are from the yeast reproducing and making that. And without that, you get unleavened bread. It's flat. So yeast is kind of cool. This is a potato, a yam or a sweet potato, and these will grow really cool plants. And all you have to do is get some toothpicks and fill this with some water out of your cup right there, and put the pointed end down. Let's use that cup right there.
Okay. And
you put some toothpicks to hold it in, and this tuber will actually go ahead and fill that in, and put this in the light somewhere. And I guarantee you, in a couple days, you'll start to see roots and plants, and you'll have a great plant to remind you of Thanksgiving.
this is something I did years ago when I was a kid with an avocado.
Yeah, same thing. So 2 more things. This one is a big fun. So this is the Alka-Seltzer or something for Antacid after you've eaten that big feast. And I've actually put it in this balloon here. And go ahead and lift that up, and let's see what happens. You should see the powder come down, and that's with water. And we should start to see some bubbles.
We're going to inflate the balloon?
We're going to inflate the balloon. And let's see, let go, and there you go. And that is so much fun, and it'll keep going and going and going, we hope. But my favorite, I'm going to have to pull my sleeves up. This is something you might find in the kitchen, cornstarch, right?
Okay.
You use that to thicken a gravy or as a thickening agent, but it does something really, really weird. This is a powdered cornstarch. I'm gonna put my sleeves up. This is called a non-Newtonian fluid, which is weird. You know, Newton, Isaac Newton.
Yes.
So I'm gonna mix this half and half, and this kind of gets messy here, but the kids love this part. And I don't know if you want to put your hand in there. It just feels
Desperately.
it feels so weird. Now, it doesn't feel like anything you would think because it's acting both like a solid and a liquid. Now, when you put pressure on it, like, so another name for this is oblique. There's Bartholomew and oblique. But if you take a handful of this, watch this, and if I just let go, look what it does. It's a liquid. Okay?
Oh.
Now, take a handful of it and squeeze it hard, and when you squeeze it, you can feel it like a solid. See how, as long as you put pressure on it.
I think you got all of it, Rick, but okay.
Here you go.
No, I see what you're, yeah, I can feel what you're talking about there.
All right,
yeah,
let's try
so-
one more trick here. Ready?
Okay.
If you put your fingers slow, let's put a little more cornstarch in there. You can actually walk on this if you do it quickly. Not that you may want to walk on it, but I hope I don't get this on your suit. And so mix that up a little bit. And if you do make a mess with this, as long as you don't color it with food dye, it's fine. You can just vacuum it up. But look, check this out here. Poke that with your finger. Poke that right there. Hard. Poke it hard. And look, it's solid.
It's like it resists more.
It resists, yeah.
Okay.
That's where it gets its name, non-Newtonian fluid.
Okay.
And it's kind of cool, fun stuff to play with. So you got yeast, you got cornstarch, you got vinegar, and maybe even, how's our balloon doing here? Pretty cool. I call this Thanksgiving kitchen chemistry.
He's Rick Crosslin. How cool is that?